Okay, this is going to be a video on how to reassemble the Glock pistol. If you need to know how to completely detail strip your Glock pistol, I have those videos on my channel as well. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start with the trigger group. And what you want to do is get the rear of the trigger group housing that has your ejector on it. Okay, so it's got the spring right here on the back. You're going to take your trigger bar, what you want to do is have that hole on the back of the trigger bar connect into that spring, and I'll do that right now. Okay, just slips in like that. That's all there is to it. Once it's in there, pull forward on your spring like this and let it come down. And then go ahead and grab your connector, which is the part you have to put in next. Otherwise you can't install the trigger bar. This is my 3.5 pound connector. Yours will look the same. The only difference is yours won't have the cutouts on each side like this one does. Okay, so now what you need to do, see that slot right there? You need to install the lip of the connector into that slot and just seat it down in there. Just push it down in there till it's nice and snug, and this is what it should look like once it's in. It'll be out from the top a little bit, that's normal. The bottom it should be seated flush. Okay, now what you do to do this part, what we're going to do here is insert the corner of the cruciform into the slot right here on the side of the trigger group housing. So what you're going to do is make sure this tab of the trigger bar is on the front side of this connector. Twist and seat like so. That's all there is to it. Now your trigger group's ready to go. Okay. Okay, now what I'm going to do is go ahead and install the trigger group into the frame of the pistol. Right there's where it goes. Kind of tilt it like this so that your trigger goes in there first, or starts to go in first. And then as you get to this point, when I push this down, you're going to hear a click as this locks into place. Now your trigger group is assembled and ready to go. Okay, next we're going to install the locking block. It's very easy as well. The locking block goes in right there, and you just simply push it down into place and it just goes flush. There is no click with that. It's just flush, and as you can see, the holes line up. See the locking block? And the arm comes down here and your holes line up. Okay. Now we're going to install the slide stop lever. As I told you before, you have to put the top pin in first before you can install your slide stop lever. And the reason is there's a groove down here that the slide stop goes into, and that spring rides under the pin. So right now what you'll need to do is go ahead and install your top pin. I always go from right to left on install and from left to right when I uninstall. Goes in like so. Push through to the other side. Use your punch just to kind of even it out for you when it gets close. There. That's all there is to it. That part is installed and pin installed. Now you're ready to install the slide stop. Okay, slide stop lever goes down in here like so, right underneath the pin. Push forward like that. Now, as you can see there, that went well. When you look through this hole right here, you should be able to see nothing but air like that. That hole is clear, ready to put your next pin in. Here's your next pin. It's the fattest pin. We're going to come here and go from right to left. Push through. Take your punch. Kind of clicks in a little bit. You really can't hear it, but you can feel it. Now that part is installed. And now the frame is complete and back 100%. Okay, I'm going to cut film here, and I'm going to do the second video, which is going to be how to completely reassemble the Glock slide. And another thing I want to tell you before I go is, next video coming up here, I'm going to show you how to completely strip the magazine, take the follower out, the spring out, and show you how to reassemble the magazine. And I'm also going to show you what makes the Glock slide stop activate after you fire the last round and the gun's empty and the slide stays rearward. I'm going to show and explain in detail why that happens after you fire the last round, so you'll know how that works. Alright everyone, humans for targets, and going on to part 2 with how to assemble the slide.